Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to one of the most luxurious cars BMW make. This is the 2027 series. Now it's thanks to Chandler's BMW in Howsham, I've got this car for the next few days, and I want to find out, it might be luxury, but is it also fun to drive? I think I'm in the wrong place to review this car. I should be in the back seat. The 2027 series is all about being driven around in utter comfort. But BMW are supposed to make the ultimate driving machine. The two to me seem at loggerheads really. A sporty drive, really comfortable. Can the two exist together? But before we do get going, taking this for a proper drive and discussing the inside, we need somewhere to park up. There is a bit of an elephant in the room when it comes to styling, and I think we need to get that out the way before we discuss the inside and the driving experience. Now we've had a chance to pull over, I think it's worth having a quick look around the outside of this car. I know with the 7 Series it's more about what's inside and the creature comforts, but we want to see, is this car going to fit in with some of the nicer surroundings it's probably going to find itself in. Now the elephant in the room, which we must get out of the way now, is the size of the grille. It's exactly the same with the X7, it's absolutely massive. I don't know what you guys think. I'll put a poll just up here. Do you like this grille or not? It's going to be interesting, but it certainly gives this car a lot of presence. We've got cameras on the front. That's not only for the 360 cameras, which when parking is incredibly useful, but also the cruise control and a host of other technologies which we'll see in action when we're out on the road. The LED lights on this car are absolutely fantastic. When you've got them on full beam, you can see something like 500 or 600 meters in front of you. And also when you turn, going around corners, the lights actually move with you. This model has got 245, 45, 20-inch alloys on it. There's something like 10 or so different types of wheels. So you certainly should be able to get the right look for you. The 7 Series from the side certainly has got a lot of presence. We've got aluminium running around the windows, the wing mirrors, along the side skirts. It's certainly going to feel at home if you pull up to a fancy hotel. We've got privacy glass in the back. Up on the wing mirrors as well, we've got another small camera which is part of the 360-degree camera set, which we'll have a look later on because it is very impressive. Small details such as the M badging, but overall from the side, yeah, I think they've done a good job, and you'd feel very special being driven around in this. BMW's new design language can certainly be seen from the back, especially with the exhaust pipe. So we've got some aluminium or chrome finishing around each exhaust, and that has been the same for each of the BMWs I've driven, everything from the 3 Series right up to obviously the X5, X7. In order to get in the back, we can either use this enormous key, or it has got a kick to open. If it works, half the time I waggle my foot underneath like an idiot, like that. There we go. Second time of asking. We've got over 500 litres of storage, so you're going to fit a good few suitcases in there. So this is a very, very practical car. Let's close up. I want to take this out on the road and talk about the rest of the features this car's got, because really it's the inside that anyone who buys this car is going to be interested in. Stepping into this car, you know straight away it is a very luxurious and a very expensive place to be. We've got cream Monaro leather, which looks fantastic against the black trim. Now, if you've been in any BMW certainly since the past year, a lot of this will look very familiar. In fact, any BMW over the past probably 10 years, a lot of these controls you'll feel right at home with. So let's have a quick look over this car, because a lot of the things I'm going to talk about will make more sense once we're out on the road. So this particular model, we've got iDrive version 7, and with that brings a whole host of new features such as gesture control, voice control. We've got new layout for the instrument binnacle. Just in general, this section here is really nice. We've got a mixture of touch. This is completely touch, so when you're probably stationary, I'd use that, and then when you're driving along, you've still got the legendary and rather brilliant iDrive controller down by the gear stick. These seats are fantastic, so comfortable, so many different ways you can change your seating position and get in exactly the right position. Steering wheel, because this is the M Sport, we have got the M steering wheel, all of the usual controls you would expect to find on a BMW. Just overall, this cabin it's just classy. That's probably the best way of putting it. I want to get in the back because most people I expect buying this car will end up in the back seat. Wow, that is the one word that sums up the car as soon as I get in the back. Wow, this is so comfortable. We've got the same Monaro leather on the back seats here, and I cannot get over and explain to you how comfy these seats are. If you imagine a very expensive armchair, get that times by 2 and you've got these seats. It is so comfortable, but you're going to be probably chauffeured around in this car, so you do expect this. We've got our own climate control in the back. It's actually 4 zones, so passenger either side has got their own controls. We've got a little flap down the bottom, 2 USB-C charging points. Door again, little door pocket to put things in. Surprisingly, it's got a cigarette tray, but I suppose it's a worldwide car, so they need to cater for everyone. On this pillar here, we've got air vents. And one thing which won't show up, unfortunately, during the day is this black strip, and under here we've got lighting. Now that matches the other strip lighting we've got around in the car. During the night, this car looks absolutely incredible. It really does. In terms of legroom, got a good few inches in front of my knees and the seat. I'm 6 foot, and I've got this seat pushed quite a long way back as well. We've got good 3 or 4 inches. I mean, if you're 6'5", 6'6", you're going to be very happy in the back. We've got a massive armrest, nice, with the world's biggest cubby hole. You open that up and you could fit a lot in there. It's all lined with felt, very nice indeed. Now, an amazing piece of German engineering here. Probably took someone hundreds of hours to come up with this, the cup holders. So press the button, open up. That is just cool. I'm not sure most people would actually care or even notice that in the back, but I really like that. That is brilliant. Because this is the M Sport, we've got some M stitching on the seat belts. We've got Isofix. So in the back here, you are going to be very comfortable, very happy, and certainly when you come out from a long journey, you might even be more relaxed than when you started. So that's the back of this car. Yeah, massive thumbs up. But what I want to do now, we want to take it back out on the road again, talk about the features and the technology, because this car, in terms of tech, is absolutely incredible. So let's get back on the road. This is the joy of the reversing camera. There's so many different settings. The 360 degree on this is incredible. But we want to see what this is like behind the wheel again. We're going to try and go through a variety of different roads. So we'll start off on these rather wet and greasy back roads to see how this car copes with the bumps, because this has got air suspension, so I'm expecting this to be a very, very comfortable ride. But to do that, we've got a number of different settings. So down by the gear shifter, we can either go sports, comfort, eco or adaptive. But this sort of road, I think I'm going to put it in adaptive. So that means it will adjust the car based on the road ahead using cameras. Very, very clever. Now, I do need to be quite careful. This particular model, it's the 3-litre diesel, so it's not the fastest car in the range, but there's still 260 brake and a ton of torque that can get you in trouble. This particular one is rear-wheel drive only. They do an X-drive, which means it's 4-wheel drive. Now I've been driving around for a little while. I could definitely do with a drink, so I'm going to head to my local McDonald's and go and grab a coffee. I'm not sure how many 7 Series are going to end up in a McDonald's drive-through, so it's going to be an interesting challenge. It's a big old car though, and I'm very pleased it's not the extended wheelbase version, because I really do not want to get stuck in a drive-through. That would be incredibly embarrassing.
Good morning, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?
Hello, can I have a regular toffee latte?
Yeah.
And that's it, thank you.
That'll be $1.99 at the next visit.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
So we've made it this far. Oh my word, this is there's narrow. Oh, we've got the sensors beeping all over the place. Blimey, yes, this is incredibly tight. We've got the cameras, which is amazing, have come up. Oh my goodness, I won't swear. Ugh. Thank you. Cheers. It's doing lots of beeping. Goodness me. So let's keep going forward. Let's wait for this coffee. Let's try and...
There we go, so any sugar at all?
No, that's it. Thank you. Cheers. All right, thank you. Right, so we've made it. We've made it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that too often, but that's not bad for the first time of going through a drive-through in this huge car. So, consumer advice: you can take a 7 Series through a drive-through. So let's get on with this driving experience, and we're going to have a chat about the technology in this car. I think one of the best features I've found on this car has to be the combination of active cruise control and lane assist. Now, active cruise control, well, you know what cruise control is. You set it at a speed and it keeps you at that. Now, active cruise control uses a camera on the front to monitor any vehicles ahead of me and will slow down or speed up the vehicle. So if the car in front of me slowed down, it would also slow me down, and as they sped up, it would speed up. very clever. Now, another little feature which I really like, it knows the speed limits of the road, so it's using a camera on the front, and if you press the set button, again on the steering wheel, it will set the maximum speed you can go with the cruise control as the speed on the road. Now also, as you're going along and you change speed limits, it will also change that again. That is very, very clever. Now, I also mentioned lane assist. That basically will, well, follow the road, so you don't even need to steer. The only thing you've got to do is have your hands on the steering wheel. If you take them off for more than 30 seconds, you get an amber flashing warning come up, and it will then deactivate. And also there's a monitoring thing in front of me, so it's looking at your eyes and will again disengage if you're decided not to look at the road. Those two on a long journey are so useful. I did a couple of 100 miles yesterday, and sitting on the motorway was so relaxing. It really was. We've got iDrive version 7. It's pretty much rolled out across any new BMW that comes out at the moment, and it is certainly a jump on from the previous versions of iDrive. Don't get me wrong, the older ones were brilliant, but this just adds a bit more to it. It adds gesture control and voice control and an updated infotainment system. So gesture control I've found to be useful some of the time. For example, if you want to turn up the radio, you can look an idiot and wave your finger around, so to turn it up and down. You can change tracks by doing that. You can, what else can you answer the phone? You can swipe to reject the call. So we have got voice control in this car. Some of it is useful, like setting the temperature, maybe turning your heated seats on. So for example, I could say, "Hey BMW."
Hello, what can I help you with?
Turn my heated seats on.
I set the seat heating at the driver's seat at level 3.
See, that is useful. You don't need to hunt around for any buttons. Also, if you noticed, it only sets my temperature, my heated seats on. So whoever asks for something, so if you ask to change the temperature, it will change your settings. Now that is very, very useful. Now I've set our destination, I get the large map over on the main infotainment system. I've got another map on the instrument cluster in front of me, and then yet another one on the head-up display. Now that, to me, the head-up display one is the one I use all of the time. So BMW have done a very good job in terms of comfort and luxury and gadgets in this 2027 series. The other side of the coin was the ultimate driving machine. We're in comfort, so let's go over to sport. That changed a few settings, such as weight of the steering, throttle response, dampers. Also, the other thing it does is the bolsters in the side of the seat, they squish you in a bit more to give you a bit more support when you're driving a bit more sportily. So let's see what this thing is like. Why don't we go over to manual, so push the gear stick across to the left and I can use the paddles now. We're on a straight bit of road. I will drop down, it's national speed limit, nothing around me, so we're doing 30 miles an hour, foot down, kicks down, yeah, there we go, that's 60. Whoa, yeah, okay. That was Well, the back end ever so slightly stepped out there. I wasn't expecting it to quite do that. So that's a bit of a warning that these roads are wet and slippery. It's a rear wheel drive car. I think at the moment I'd rather have the X-Drive 4-wheel drive car, because you could feel the momentum of the back of this car starting to lose traction, and I really didn't want that. It might be fun in places, but not for a car like this. So the driving experience, well, it got a bit squirrely coming out of that junction. I wasn't particularly pushing it. It was more the fact that it's very wet and greasy and just not very nice. I don't think it's the sort of car that you would ever be pushing. I just don't think a 7 Series owner is going to be planting it out of a junction, getting the back end kick out. In the meantime, your passengers are throwing champagne and I don't know what else all over the back of them. You're going to use your job as a chauffeur. You're definitely not going to keep that. So yes, it feels good. It is a very comfortable drive. It does make me feel quite special behind the wheel. And I think it is a driver's car, but not in the same way as a 3 Series or a 5 Series. But it's not aimed at that at the end of the day. So what's my opinion of this 2027 series? It's very good. It's designed to take people around in luxury, in comfort. And it does that so well. It really does. Even from behind the wheel, it is such a relaxing drive. It's so comfortable. The air suspension about it, just everything, the tech on board really helps long journeys fly by, and you are so comfortable and relaxed by the end of it. Yesterday, I think I drove for around 10 hours. I did over 200 miles and I felt fresh as a daisy when I stepped out the other end. So that's one side of it. Driving experience, yes, again, that is pretty good as well. You feel very connected with the road. You're still well aware this is a very heavy and very big car. There's no way of disguising that completely. But overall, I think they've done an absolutely cracking job. And on that note, guys, I'm going to call this video to a close. I want to say a massive thank you to BMW Chandlers in Halsham for lending me this new 7 Series. If you do have any questions about this car, please put them in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel, because the more subscribers means access to more cars. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.